Hello, gamers. Welcome to the gaming news update. Here, as we're going to take a look at some of the announcement, some of the new details in terms of showcases that have been announced for the Summer Game Fest season. Now, one of the showcases that have been announced is the Future Game Show for the summer of 2024. We'll be going live on Saturday, the 8th of June. It's going to be airing at 8 p.m. UK time. That will be 9 p.m. in Europe, and obviously, and that will be around 12 p.m. Pacific for those who want to tune in to see some of the basically see some of the upcoming games that that may get announced at Summer Game Fest that will be elaborated further at the Future Game Show. On Saturday, the 8th of June. Now, as well as that, there's also a Future of Play Direct that's also happening that day around 4 p.m. UK time at 8 a.m. Pacific. That's another showcase happening on Saturday, the 8th of June, that has been added to the schedule just recently. And of course, the PC Game Show has been announced for Sunday, the 9th of June at 9 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Pacific, for those who want to see the all the upcoming games for PC. If you're a PC person and want to see some of the upcoming titles that are going to be coming for that platform. As well as that, there are some other showcases happening during that week. On the Thursday, Gorillas Collective have just announced that they're doing their showcase for Thursday, the 6th of June. So that very evening, they're going to be introducing some of the upcoming indie titles on Thursday night ahead of the Summer Game Fest. And there's also, for the very first time, there's going to be an accessibility showcase on Friday, the 7th of June, 4 p.m. UK time, 8 a.m. Pacific, for those who want to see some of the accessibility titles that are going to be coming over the next year or so. Especially that will be handy for any accessibility gamers who might find a game that might interest them in this showcase coming up on Friday, around the morning afternoonish time, Friday the 7th of June. And then on top of that, we've got Days of the Devs that have been set to will be going live at midnight. So that's following Summer Game Fest midnight, heading into Saturday, the 8th of June. That'll be 4 p.m. Pacific in the US if you want to see the Summer Game Fest edition of Days of the Dev, which will be another indie showcase happening. And Devotion Direct has finally announced their showcase will be happening also early hours of Saturday, the 8th of June, which will be at 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Pacific, where they'll be announcing some of their upcoming titles for the next year or so. So they are the upcoming showcases that have also been added to the mix if you're wanting to check out any of those titles that are going to be happening, or any of those upcoming any upcoming potential games that they're going to be covering during their showcases that very weekend. So be sure to tune in if you want. And by the way, they're also Devotion Digital are celebrating Valor's 15th birthday party. So there's going to be a big birthday party along with their showcase that day as well. So going to be a bit of a celebration if you look at it that way. So maybe worth checking out if you haven't already. But either way, pretty cool. And by the way, Glitch, who are responsible for the future of play, they're inviting some streamers and creators to be co-streamers to sign up for some special goodies. If you want to be a co-streamer for their stream on the Saturday, the 8th of June, there'll be a link in the description where they're going to be offering creators the chance to sign up to get some special goodies to celebrate their Future of Play Direct that's happening that very Saturday, where they're inviting the whole family to check out some nice, cool-looking games that they're going to be showing off that weekend for all types of gamers, of course. So yeah, I thought I would mention that, especially if there's any co-streamers who fancy co-streaming that. And then, of course, we have a Latino American game showcase on Saturday, the 8th of June as well. 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK, which is another Summer Game Fest co-presented event where they're going to be looking at Latino American games. There are over 70 plus games from that county that will be revealed in this show, which is going to be interesting. So yeah, didn't even know Latino American actually have their own games, but there you go. That's going to be a thing this year. And there's also going to be a showcase for woman-led games as well that Saturday, if you, especially for all the for all the female gamers who fancy want to check out any woman-related titles that are going to be coming, they've even organized a Steam sale for the showcase as well. So there'll be a sale coming out following the show. Well, once the showcase has got up and running. Nevertheless, that is basically what we can expect from some of the upcoming showcases that will be happening. Like I said, basically some of the showcases that they're going to be doing over the course of the weekend, but I'm sure there'll be more showcases to be announced. I mean, we also have a Nintendo Direct that's also coming in June. No official dates have been given yet, and we still yet to know what Sony's plans are for their showcase, or at least we hope there's going to be some sort of a showcase planned late during the week. So we'll find out if that ends up happening regarding Sony, because they've been very quiet about their plans, but I'm sure we'll hear something hopefully during the week about what their plans are for this lineup. I'll leave a link in the description to Eurogamer who have basically listed all the known showcases that have been announced so far, and I'm sure there'll be more added as they get announced. Hopefully more will get announced this week and will be added to the schedule, so we'll see more showcases added for June 2024. So now we move forward to discuss about to basically discuss about the fact that there is it turns out the Insider Gaming have actually had reports about one of the new games that are apparently set to arrive on the Xbox Games Showcase in 2 weeks, and that is in regards to Doom. Now, there has been a lot of hints surrounding Doom getting a new game this year, and it turns out Insider Gaming have been able to get some further information as to what this game is apparently going to be referred to. It turns out the game might actually be called Doom: The Dark Ages. It turns out that the game that in question is going to be a medieval-inspired Doom, which I'll be interested to hear from all the Doom fans what you reckon about a medieval-themed Doom game and whether that will interest you should they decide to do it. But essentially, they seem to be getting, many of the insider sources seem to believe it's a prequel to the PS4 reboot as well as Doom Eternal, which is interesting for them to say that. And they also say it's multi-platform and there's going to be a PS5 release alongside the Xbox version and the PC version. I would assume that's how they're going to roll it out. Which is also interesting, they say PS5, because this would mean that at some point this year, we're getting a PS5 version of a new Xbox title under the Bethesda umbrella, which is really interesting that they're going ahead to confirm a PS5 version of a game that's probably due at the end of the year, but they're going to release it on that console, even though, yeah, it makes you wonder, does that mean that new releases are now going to be coming to PS5 as well as previous Xbox releases? I don't know, just something that has occurred my attention after reading this article here. But either way, yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. The fact that a new Xbox game Bethesda under the Xbox umbrella, planning to bring their newest Doom to PlayStation 5 as well as Xbox potentially this year, which is very interesting. So that's all we kind of know about this game right now, is that it's going to be medieval inspired and there's plans for a PS5 release to be revealed at this event. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the Xbox community are going to react to the idea of a new Doom game coming to PS5 as well as Xbox. And whether, especially given that Bethesda games were supposed to be Xbox only, but yeah, it's really interesting that how things have turned over the last few months. Also, Stellar Blade, speaking of PS5, Stellar Blade had a new update recently. They've got a challenge mode, new outfits have just gone live as part of a new update, which you can download. It's only 3 gig, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. As well as that, we do have another PS5 game that's apparently due to be announced soon, which is a full Astrobot game. Interestingly enough, they believe it's going to be revealed within 15 days, which is basically 2 weeks from now, which may suggest that, yeah, it's definitely suggesting there's definitely a showcase coming, considering we're now hearing about an Astrobot game that was also rumored before, and it's now being more rumored than ever now that there's a new PS5 Astrobot coming following the launch of Astro's Playroom, which was basically the launch title for the PS5, which came with the PS5 console. So yeah, let me know. So looks like Astrobot is going to be new game will be getting announced pretty soon, and it's going to be immediate announcements. Just a question of when Sony will finally set the showcase now, and then we'll get to see it, which will be very interesting, nevertheless. Along with that, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has finally had its PS5 version out, which I'm sure is getting a lot of great feedback since its release. On top of that, Fortnite have also launched their new season, which is called Wrecked, which also features Fallout characters or the Fallout armor is now a part of the battle pass for the game as well. So yes, you can get it within the battle pass. And they've also confirmed that X-Men character Magtanium will be an unlockable skin at some point, along with the Brighter Bomber, which is also coming to this season. And they've also promised they're going to be offering, they pretty much also confirmed that the Metallica Fortnite Festival crossover is going to be happening at some point during this season. They haven't said that. And there's also going to be a grapple gun coming into this season, so you can now grapple into walls and objectives and stuff, which is also interesting that this entire season's also themed off the new Mad Max movie, which is also interesting that they're theming it around that, as well as adding Fallout's body armor into the game as a skin, which is pretty clever. There you go. That is a little taste of what we could expect from this news, at least some of the new stuff that's been announced for the new Fortnite season, which is now called Wrecked, and it's now gone live, and you can download the update and get into the action if you want to check out the new content in Fortnite. And I'll leave a link to the articles, which reveals a lot of new stuff that they have revealed this week to celebrate the launch of this new Fortnite season that just came out yesterday. Now, as well as that, we also heard from Neil Buckingham under Naughty Dogs that AI is apparently going to be helping to push forward the boundaries of storytelling, which is very interesting words coming from someone who's been very successful with the Last of Us series. So very interesting choice of words there. Also, there's been a lot of indications that Armored Core's going to be getting more games in the future, and there's a strong will for them. So it looks like that Armored Core 6's success is going to be prompting for more games to come out in the near future, which is really nice that we're going to be getting more to come. And then Personal 3 Reloaded is getting a game trial on PlayStation Plus Premium for those who want to check out the Personal 3 Reloaded game. Helldivers 2 looks like it's going to be getting exosuits in the coming weeks and months, which is nice to see. They're adding exosuits into the game now as a future update, of course. Then we have Kermit the Frog that's been added to Disney Speedstorm as like a new character for that game, which is nice to hear that they've been adding Kermit into the mix. And then we also found out some more details about the upcoming Naughty Dog game that's apparently the most thrilling yet. Coming from Neil Buckingham, obviously one of the famous developers at Naughty Dog, who's now hyping up their next game project, which is pretty nice. And then on top of this, the Marvel's Wolverine PS5 news is apparently going to come when the time is right. So obviously we're going to have to wait for some time until we hear more about the Marvel's Wolverine PS5 game that I'm sure most of you are eager to learn more about, considering Wolverine is going to be returning to the cinemas this year alongside Deadpool. And then we're also been promised that in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be hearing more about Concord, the PS5 exclusive live service game, another one that follows the release of Helldivers 2 that we're going to be learning a lot more about this year from Firewalk Studios. So and apparently there's talks that we're going to see playable characters as well as glimpses of gameplay this year, which is really great to hear. Yeah, so it looks very promising that we're probably going to be seeing Concord possibly show up at the Summer Game Fest this year, which will be an interesting announcement from Sony. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it at Summer Game Fest, considering Sony likes to bring some new content to Summer Game Fest. So I think Concord would be an interesting game for them to show off, considering it's a sci-fi multiplayer shooter that they're bringing to the table. And I'm sure will be, and it's meant to be coming out this year. So having a release date for it this year would be kind of nice to give us a taste of when we're going to be able to start playing it. Of course, we move forward to hear about Liam Hemsworth, who's going to be appearing in The Witcher Season 4, which is The Witcher Season 4. Of course, we had our first look at it from Netflix, and I'm sure, and of course, they haven't said exactly when it's going to come out, but it will be coming out in the near future. So that's really good to hear that he's going to be a part of the series, is the fourth series of the Witcher TV series on Netflix. That's pretty awesome to hear. On top of that, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 is getting PvE and PvP multiplayer modes, which is nice to hear that they're adding those modes to Space Marine 2. That's going to be dropping on the 9th of September for those who love a bit of PvP and PvE. And then, of course, we have to obviously discuss the fact that this past week we had an official announcement from Activision, well, from the Call of Duty social channels, and of course Activision, that this year's Call of Duty will be called Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and it will be the game that we will see at the Xbox Showcase this year. We will be seeing a direct for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 that's going to follow the Xbox Showcase on Sunday, the 9th of June. So, yes, this year's COD will be Black Ops 6 under the Treyarch umbrella, which is really exciting. They've also said it's a dark new chapter of the Black Ops franchise, which is very interesting. So yeah, there's only been a few teasers so far for this game, but the full reveal is going to take place on Sunday the 9th of June. So just you wait till the 9th of June, and we'll have a lot of gameplay to look forward to check out regarding Black Ops 6. I'm very excited about this because I love the Black Ops series, and I can't wait to see what the zombies is going to be like for this game this year. I'm sure it's going to be tremendous, whatever they're planning. Now, of course, we move forward to talk about and also another thing to note is that Warhammer 4K Space Marines has said no to microtransactions with the multiplayer mode. That's really good to hear. But they also have DLC planned for this game at some point in the coming year, which is good. On top of that, we did hear some news about the first update for XDefiant that came out that is adding a double XP weekend this weekend if you want to get some XP to celebrate the first proper weekend of XDefiant. Xbox are hosting an Activision Blizzard sale that's going to feature lots of Call of Duty discounts from previous and the latest, and the sale will be finishing on the week of the Xbox Game Showcase. So I would imagine there'll be a big Xbox sale to celebrate the showcase in June, which is going to be interesting to see what that sale is going to contain. On top of that, we also had some news about Skull and Bones Season 2, and there's going to be a free trial for anybody who wants to try out Skull and Bones, even though I know not many people are very fond about this game. Then you have Xbox Design Lab that's now offering free engraves on controllers until the rest of the month, which is really good to hear. There's a couple of Warhammer games that are free to play this weekend if you want to try out any of the previous Warhammer titles that have come out in the last year. And speaking of Warhammer, there's been some new announcements that have been announced at the Skull Showcase, which I'll leave a link in the description, where they announced the PvE PvP mode for the Space Marine 2, and even a crossover between Call of Duty and Warhammer that's going to be coming. And they're even so there's going to be a crossover between the two brands that will be happening at some point during the course of 2024. So there will be a crossover between the two, which is really good to hear that they're doing a crossover between COD and Warhammer 40,000, which is crazy they're doing a crossover, but there you go, it's happening. We had an uncut gameplay of Killer Clowns from Outer Space ahead of its Xbox release, which is nice to see that they showed us a glimpse of that. We've also had some news about a fun PvE campaign mode that's coming to Multiverse on Xbox as of next week, and of course for PlayStation as well. There hasn't really been that much news because I think the main reason why there hasn't been much news is because some of the announcements are being saved for the beginning of June with Summer Game Fest and Xbox Showcase. So you can obviously expect some things are going to be very, very quiet between now and the showcases happening, but I would definitely expect PlayStation to have some news this week, particularly about their showcase, and hopefully we will have a showcase to look forward to during the week from Sony that will reveal some of the upcoming titles that they are going to be releasing at the end of the year and into early next year, hopefully. But yes, and also I'll leave a link in the description for those of you who want to sign up to be a co-streamer for the Summer Game Fest. Definitely worth doing because I've done it pretty much. I've done it for the last few years, and I've enjoyed being a co-streamer for the Summer Game Fest. It's such a great fun time to see some of the cool games that are going to be coming out. There's always, because I'm sure there's going to be a game for everyone, because there's always a game that someone will want to play. There's always like new exciting releases to check out in the gaming world that people are like, oh yeah, I definitely want to play that. So yeah, there'll be a link in the description for those who want to be co-streamers for Summer Game Fest's show on Friday, the 7th of June. There'll be a link there if you want to sign up and get ready for the show that's happening a week on Friday. I will see you all in my next gaming news update, where hopefully a PlayStation showcase will be announced for this week.